Everyone has a story, including the penguins at Loveland Living Planet Aquarium. Well, our virtual field trip is about to come to an end with this third and final episode. And yes, there will be a quiz. The first thing I notice is some humidity.
Yes, we've got misters that go off on a regular basis to help keep the air humid in here, and heaters as well.
These are white-faced whistling ducks.
Yep.
And I understand that they are from South America. Quiz question.
Yeah.
What other continent do they live on?
You also find the white-faced whistling duck in Africa.
Africa. So South America and Africa.
It's true.
That's a long flight.
It is. So
Okay.
long ago, before those continents separated, you had the ducks, and some were on one side and some were on the other side.
What's this guy with the spots?
This one with the white spots is the white-spotted river ray. Lives up to its name.
I don't know if that one's called a brown spot something, but...
That one is the ocellated river ray.
Oh, okay.
River rays are neat. They're stingrays just like their saltwater cousins. They've got their stinger on the back of their tail, you can kind of see. But if you get the angle right, you can see they also have a bunch of thorns or spikes all the way up and down their back tail as well.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of our pools that it's much nicer to look at than to touch. If you listen, you'll hear birds. Way up at the top there, you can see sitting in the rafters is one of our yellow rump caciques.
Oh, wow. Ugh. Tarantula.
Tarantula, yeah.
Whoa, check out that net.
Tarantula web is a little bit different. It's not a super sticky web like we think of a garden spider making. Instead, it's like a big floor mat they can feel whenever food is walking on it.
Okay, now, I gotta admit, oh boy, those are some big cockroaches.
Yeah, the giant cave cockroaches.
I do not want to see that scurry at my house.
Now,
Holy.
these guys are famous though. If
Yeah?
you've seen a movie where they've got big cockroaches, it's either these or their cousins, the Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
Oh, be darn. Check out these river giants.
That big girl there is the Arapaima, one of the largest fish that lives in the Amazon River.
I have not gotten that close to this big of a fish.
Oh yeah, she's curious. It's been a while since she's seen people, and she loves to people watch just like people love to fish watch. We always think of going somewhere and, it's us seeing the animals, but the animals, they can see us just as well, and some of them are really curious about what people are doing.
Quiz question time. How big does an Arapaima get? Answer?
The Arapaima can grow to be 8 to 10 feet long on average, weigh 200, 250 pounds.
Oh my heck. Bromeliads?
Bromeliads, yeah. When people think of a toucan, they usually think of, they've got the bright beak and colors. We've got one of them there.
Oh yeah, another one up there too.
Some other fun ones that we have in our aviary here are the sloths.
Okay. The sloths. Are they really as slow as everybody says?
They are very slow and lazy.
Okay. Turtles.
We said that turtles have a flat, smooth shell to help swim in the water. Tortoises have legs with toes and claws, and turtles have flippers. These guys have legs with toes and claws. So these are actually the kind of hidden third group, the terrapins.
Oh, okay.
Or freshwater turtles, they're often called. Up this ramp, we go to another favorite spot, our rope bridge.
Oh yeah. Natalia, Emily, Emmett, Jonathan, Dorothy, I'm doing this for you. Yowza! Whoa, that sucker sways. Stuck the landing! Wow. Last time I checked, you have colors like this, it's kind of saying stay away.
Definitely.
What kind of frog is this?
This is a cobalt poison dart frog.
Okay, now obviously this is not life size. I hope it's not
No,
life
not
size.
life size. They're going to be much smaller, about the size of your thumbnail, but still dangerous. Now, one that was the size of your thumbnail would have enough poison to kill you if you were to lick it.
No licking frogs.
That's right. It's good life advice. Now, with any luck, we can actually see one of those guys at our poison dart frog exhibit over here.
Whoa.
Our dart frogs are very good at hiding. I like to call this one of our Where's Waldo exhibits.
Yeah.
The longer you look, the more you'll start to find.
I see one with black and yellow.
Yep. It's gonna be
Wow.
one of
So what kind is that?
a yellow banded poison dart frog.
And then I see one guy over here. He's got yellow, but he's kind of like he's got like.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
tell
got a
if
little bit
blue or
of
something?
green as well. Yeah, that guy is the dying poison dart frog. Penguins, if you look at them, their feet kind of point out a bit.
Yeah.
Their knees are up by their hips, so
Oh,
they
well, I
kind
can't
of
go
get that
that
little bit of waddle,
Yeah.
and they go like that.
Well, I feel like I should have, a Charlie Chaplin hat and a cane. It's like,
You
woo!
get a little fancy there. Yeah, walking like that helps them not slip on the rocks and ice when it's cold and wet.
Quiz question: where in the world can you find penguins? And the answer is
Anywhere in the southern hemisphere.
Really?
We always think of penguins as being cold and snowy,
Right.
but of the species of penguins, only 4 of them really live in the Antarctic. You have penguins all up and down the coast of South America, the bottom parts of South Africa, southern Australia, and New Zealand. These penguins are Gen 2 penguins.
What's that mean?
You can identify that by looking at their head. Gen 2s have that little bit of a white cap.
okay.
Now, something that you'll notice, penguins are able to float very easily, and they have a really special way of swimming. If you think about when you go swimming, your arms are going front to back. But if you watch a penguin, when they get swimming, they're not going front to back, they're going up and down, just like a bird flying in the air.
Are these guys related to birds?
They are indeed related to birds. Penguins are birds. Their feathers are very small and act like a wetsuit to help them stay warm in the cold waters that they swim in. And then they've got their beak for catching fish and picking up rocks. Penguins will build nests just like birds do. They eat about 10% of their body weight every day.
Really?
So you've got a lot of fish coming in and a lot of other stuff coming out.
Yep. That's got to be pretty cold water. How do they stay warm?
The Gen 2 penguins have a very high body temperature. They're about 102 degrees on average. And their feathers zip shut. So it's kind of like going swimming in a dry suit. The water in here is usually around 40 to 50 degrees.
Whoa.
It'll vary depending on the time of year. And the air is about that same range. And it's not just cold, but it's also very humid. It's about 80 to 90% humidity in the air.
So how many penguins do you have in here?
We currently have 21 penguins. We had 11 penguins when we started, and they've had a lot of success laying eggs over the last few years.
Oh, really? So some of these actually were born here?
They were, quite a few of them
Wow.
were born here.
That's awesome.
Gen 2 penguins, depending on the colony, have between a 70 and 90% chance of being with each other. Finding, we had eggs last year, let's get together again.
These guys can submerge and everything, but the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium's got something a little different. This one is a lot deeper than other penguin tanks I've seen. Quiz question time.
Okay.
How deep is this one?
This one's 12 feet deep from the bottom water level up to the top, and that gives the penguins a lot more room to dive around and swim.
Okay, so the answer, 12 feet. Okay, drop down. Okay, just so what in the world is this?
This here is our deep sea submersible.
Oh, cool.
This is another really popular spot for field trips and kids to come visit. You can go in and see what it would be like to explore the deep ocean.
How deep would this go?
Submersibles like this have been able to make it down to the bottom of the ocean, which is pretty impressive.
Pretty deep.
It's mesmerizing to watch. These moon jellies, they just gently pulse and float around, just kind of going with the current.
Wow. So where would you find these guys?
You can find species of moon jelly all across the ocean. You'll find some in the northern waters of the Pacific Northwest, others off in the Atlantic.
Yeah, well, I remember getting stung by jellyfish when I was a kid. It didn't feel good.
Yeah, it'll leave a lasting impression.
Oh, yeah. These guys have got a nasty sting.
Looks like these guys were just fed. You can actually see in the water all those tiny little dots. Those are small little brine shrimp or Nauplius larvae.
Oh, okay.
So the jellies will catch them, and then they make little balls out of it. So those pink lumps in their feeding arms are the food that they're eating right now.
Well, it must have took some pretty cool engineering to get this tank to do what it does.
Jelly exhibits are some of the trickier ones because you don't want to have a corner that they get stuck in. It needs to be round and flowing. All right, now we're going to be following the currents as they take us to our Asia Hall.
Oh, cool.
Starting off here, we've got a couple lizards that are tricky to find. They're very good at hiding. So if you look right here, we've got the vine snakes just right there in the middle. It kind of...
Oh, my goodness. Wow. So it looks kind of like a little green rope.
It does, very much so.
I would have missed that if you hadn't pointed it out.
We've got our female snake over here. She's a little bit lighter green and a little bit larger. These guys are green tree monitors.
Okay. Now, the one thing I noticed, if I remember right, some lizards are venomous, poisonous, whatever.
Yep.
Are these guys in that case?
No, these guys aren't going to be particularly dangerous. I mean, you wouldn't want to be bitten, but it's not going to be like a Komodo dragon.
Okay.
They're very good at climbing. They've got long toes and a long tail. Their tail is actually prehensile. You can see how it curls around. Not all lizards can do that. Their tail is strong and built for climbing, so it stays on all the time.
What's this guy?
A sailfin dragon. Looks a lot like an iguana. It's another one of those neat things where the similar body design lets them fill a similar niche, just in two different parts of the world. He's a big one here, so he'll kind of pick his spot, and then everybody else adjusts around him.
I noticed he was doing some jerking with his face. What was that?
That's how lizards communicate with each other. They don't have a voice. He can't say, "Hey guys, here I am." Instead, they use body movement to communicate. And that up and down movement there is one way of just kind of saying, "Hey, here I am. I'm claiming this spot." And you can see the reaction of the monitor lizards to him.
I've got to think these look like some kind of tortoise.
Big round shell, long toes and legs, definitely tortoises.
What kind?
These guys are the Burmese mountain tortoise.
Oh my.
On our left side here, we've got the golden arowana.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Now they get to be a pretty good sized fish. Sometimes people will get one, as a pet, thinking, "Oh, it's a small little thing." But whenever you get any kind of pet, especially a fish, be sure to do your research. A lot of them can get to be really big.
Oh yeah, that's one of them for sure.
Different types of doves and pheasants. Right up there, the one with the bright red chest is a bleeding heart Luzon.
I get the name. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, it looks like it's injured, but that color is a way of showing off to a mate, "Hey, look how healthy I am."
Clouded leopard. This guy looks kind of shy.
They are. Clouded leopards are very reclusive. They try to avoid big crowds and being out where they can easily be seen, like a lot of cats do. We have two of them, a male and a female, Koshi and Rue, and we're hoping that they will be able to breed. We'll have kittens. They're part of a species survival plan.
Okay, quiz question. Where does the clouded leopard come from?
You're going to find the clouded leopard in the rainforests of Southeast Asia.
Thanks, Brent, for helping us with this virtual field trip to the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium. Also, our underwriters, Rustico, JW Custom Hats, Five Wise Hand Sanitizer, and of course, Liquid Earth. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. With another entry into Jessop's Journal, I'm Doug Jessop, ABC4 News.